You know, call me crazy, but I think I'm one of the few reviewers out there who actually enjoyed the Horizon games and defended them publicly. Sure, they leaned a little heavily into the usual 2020s girl boss tropes, and if the protagonist was a meal, she'd be a cheese sandwich with a glass of tap water, but they were fun action RPGs with a decent combat system that offered plenty of challenge and room for experimentation, a large and vibrant game world that was actually interesting to explore, and a complex, well thought out backstory that gradually came together as the games progressed. Being honest though, even I could tell that they were basically the Avatar franchise of the gaming world, nice to look at and popular on release, but with no real cultural footprint, and ultimately destined to be forgotten a few months after they came out. Leave it to Sony to AstroTurf the fuck out of something that nobody really asked for though. These games were gassed up harder than Sabrina Carpenter, and I think they even tried to make Aloy the new face of PlayStation for a while, which is just so cute. Then came the announcement a couple of days ago that Guerrilla Games, the dev team behind the two mainline Horizon titles, were officially working on a new entry in the Horizon franchise. Great stuff. Were we finally going to get a conclusion to the mainline story? What was going to happen with the nemesis that was heading for planet Earth? Would humanity find a way to band together and end the machine threat once and for all? Would Aloy finally get a decent fucking haircut? Well, interestingly enough, the answer to all these questions was no.
Fuck.
Instead of a continuation of the story, we were getting an online multiplayer co-op game.
Right.
Okay, fine, I thought to myself. There's still plenty of gaps in the narrative that we could fill with a game like this. Maybe it's going to be an action-packed military shooter about Operation Enduring Victory, where you have to hold back the Pharaoh Plague long enough for Project Zero Dawn to be complete. You know, shedding light on a fascinating portion of the Horizon story that we barely know anything about. Maybe it's going to be a tense survival game set in the far future, where you have to rebuild the remnants of humanity by scavenging resources and rediscovering ancient technology, slowly building your ragged band of nomads into a political and military powerhouse.
No, I don't think I will.
Nah, why do any of that stuff when you can have a quirky, cartoonish Fortnite ripoff that looks like a cheap mobile game featuring a wacky cast of comically diverse characters who have to put aside their quirkiness and learn to work together?
Son of a bitch!
Why is everyone in this trailer smirking at each other? Smirk, 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 smirk. Jesus, it's like watching a Tessa Thompson movie. I mean, I'll say one thing at least. Aloy looks better here than she did in Forbidden West. Clearly someone's been laying off the cheeseburgers at least. Speaking of which... Oh no. Oh no. My brothers in Christ, have you learned nothing from disasters like Concord? Have you not realised that this sort of thing doesn't resonate anymore? In fact, it never really did. I mean, seriously, walk me through your thought process on this character design, would you? Tell me the best you expected to come out of this one. How do you think people would react to the sight of a human beanbag with one leg who's somehow faster and more agile than any living human has ever existed? Do you think anyone is buying into this stuff anymore? You know, it's funny because now that the whole body positivity movement's gone suspiciously silent after everyone realised they could just take a magic pill and solve their problems, I assumed we'd seen the end of characters like this in media, but apparently not. I also love how this primitive tribalistic culture that's living on a knife edge of survival somehow still has access to chemical hair dye and the time and motivation to carefully employ it. It's amazing how resourceful humans can be when it comes to superficial vanity, isn't it?
Yes.
Honestly, apart from Hollywood, I don't think I've seen any industry more stubbornly determined not to learn from their mistakes than gaming. It's like the past 10 years just didn't happen for them, and all the backlashes and high-profile failures simply didn't exist. I mean, it's a strategy, I'll say that much. Not only is the character design and the art style horribly dated, gaudy and unoriginal, but why try to graft it onto Horizon of all things? Tonally, the two games just do not line up with each other. Sure, the world of Horizon could definitely be visually vibrant at times, but it was still meant to be believable and realistic, and most importantly, mature, not hyper-stylized and childish like this. It would be like releasing an online Silent Hill game in the style of Fortnite. It's a shame they chose to release a game like this, it really is, because I do think there are untold stories and situations that could be explored in this world. I think the Horizon games offer plenty of scope for new adventures with different characters, but this ain't it, man. And by choosing to build the whole thing around a cast of checkbox characters that look like they wandered in from 2019, they've practically guaranteed online mockery and financial disaster. Gamers are wise to this kind of thing, and they don't fucking like it. Don't say we didn't try to warn you though. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.